the last ban for NIP. And right now, like, do you just resort to something like Italia? The Rumble has been banned out all across the series and the previous series, might I add as well. And it's going to be snatched away, flexed in all 3 or 4 roles, if you will.
And taken away from potentially Shanji, who is a very strong Rumble. I'd say breathe right in his own right. As we get to the first 2 picks for NIP, we'll really tell what kind of focus we're going to get. This has been a pick that's been banned away, kind of back and forth here, but maybe sneaking on through. It does, as the Corki flexibility is alive and well for NIP.
Yeah, let's see what they're going to choose to pair it up with. I'm loving the Corki, but because you're playing towards more of an AD kind of Corki, I do like some pretty good frontline and frontline things that facilitate for him. Things like, I don't know, I've been saying it all over again, like a Zhuo, Maokai in the jungle look pretty good to me.
A little bit of that facilitation maybe coming through, but right now it's just all-out aggression from NIP as they take the Lucian. They'll leave the support open-ended right now, maybe giving Weibo some time to deal with that.
I mean, you could Kalista Rumble technically here because the 2 pairings for Lucian is either the Milio or the Nami, and you can transition Rumble towards the bottom of the map, and he's actually a pretty good matchup into both.
Well, this is a tried and true for Light.
Okay.
And Chris is going to be piloting the Lulu right alongside Light's Zeri.
Ooh, this is gonna get interesting right now because things like the Nautilus cannot go through because you're already playing Lucian. Ban phase after that comes through, so might wanna... You could even like pick something like the Vi here and risk playing with another support, but I don't think this should be the case. You get probably the strongest bot lane that you can possible, and this is going to be the map.
I think the combo is just way too strong, especially into the duo of the Zeri Lulu. You can lock them down. Makes it that much harder to play into. But now in the second phase, the final 4 champions of our multitudes of bans here. We'll see what that focus really comes down to, and it definitely has to be towards jungle.
Absolutely, both junglers have not picked anything yet. However, Xiaohu also has that mid lane pick up and available to him. Talia is going to get banned out here, and Talia is one of those champions that sets up really well, actually, for things like the Rumble. The wall sets up fights really well for the equalizer to go down. I think this is what Weibo Gaming are in general looking for, things that can facilitate for that Rumble ultimate to go down.
Gonna need maybe a hot pot, or maybe, you know, a red carpet. I don't know, something to lay that one out. I do like the Nidalee ban. We've seen it rise here since the dawning of Fearless across multiple games, but not going to be there this time around. I know Tarzan definitely got a win on that one in game 1, but maybe he shouldn't have.
Oh.
The Vi there is banned away towards him, though, so the lockdown.
I'm actually very confused here because I was expecting for NIP to potentially R4 the Vi, have an actual point-click CC to pin down things like the Rumble, the Zeri in particular as well. So I'm very surprised it's getting banned out from the side of NIP, and I'm wondering what they actually have in mind. Right here, banning the Vi away. Of course, Cassante no longer in Shanji's pool. It was picked in the last game, so this is not going to be an R4. Cassante and the Udyr has been taken out too. Could potentially pivot towards... Oh, he can't. Can't be even play the Ornn. Never mind. You know, I have to go. He has to be slow. You learn as you go.
As we'll see, maybe some engage locked in for NIP. They
Oh,
actually
yeah.
get the Sejuani to give some forward aggression for their composition. But you got to wonder what this R5 is going to look like for top lane for Shanji, as there's still some big picks potentially for the last 2 of Weibo.
Your last tank option here, I think, would have to be something like a Sion, but they want to make sure that they know the entire composition before they lock in something. You could also pivot towards something like a Renekton. Pairs up really nicely with the likes of the Sejuani. You could potentially, if you gank towards the top side of the map, shut down that Rumble early on. A lot of squishiness also on the side of Weibo Gaming, so a Renekton wouldn't be the worst.
See what Tarzan wants. It is the Lee Sin. All right, time to lock in, son. Is this going to be a classic one for Tarzan? It's Fearless. It goes back to comfort. It goes back to what you know can work especially in a game 3 when there's so many champions taken off the table. See what the final pick is going to be. It's been hovered over and over again. It's finally locked in. The Kennen for Shanji. We haven't seen this from him in a while, but it is going to be a fun one.
Yeah, and there was a change on Kennen as well, where you don't get slightly immobilized when you start channeling the ultimate. You've got a lot more ease into sort of those rocket belt or flash ult moments from Kennen. So I'm excited to see what Shanji actually has to offer with this particular champion, but I'm looking at Weibo Gaming and all I see is chaos. I'm like, who's your frontline?
They harness chaos.
Who frontlines for you? Who makes sure that people get pinned down for the carpet to go on top with the Rambo? You know, you've got Zeri Lulu. Would be awesome to have a frontline for the Zeri Lulu to put down, right? Wrong. It's every man for himself on the side of Weibo Gaming. However, for the other side for NIP, I feel like they have a very, very strong front-to-back composition.
Yeah, I think the way that they can play around their double carries especially, but also the team fight potential that Shanji could bring with a lot of flanks on the Kennen will be super important. I guess Weibo's comp is just saying, hey, if we have enough damage, then they don't live to have a counterattack. And maybe that will work out. We've seen a topsy-turvy series so far. Game 1 should have gone the way of NIP, but Weibo completely flipped that table on its head. And as we go into the culmination of our first day of summer 2024, it's gonna be a barn burner. We got NIP versus Weibo Gaming, two teams who found themselves at the top echelons in spring, looking to do it again. Weibo with some changes, bringing back the OG in Tarzan, and Breathe reunited with Xiaohu, while NIP, they've run back their roster. They say if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We will make it to Worlds this split. Now we get into game 3. We'll hear those gyos one more time for the first day of summer. Love hearing the passion of the fans. Also, I just love the start yellers because you just hear all the passion.
The passion that comes from that one person that starts the whole chant.
You have an important job. You got to start the energy going.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But speaking of starting, we're getting into the game now. We want to see some aggression, maybe in bot side. This 2v2 from NIP. But something that Weibo's done every game so far has been the lane swaps. We're not going to get that this time.
I'm a little confused. I'm looking at Weibo's draft and I'm a little confused. Don't get me wrong. I love a very confident draft which screams we will outhand you in game. We are just better than you, therefore we'll just pick our champions, and that will be more than enough. However, the synergy between Lee Sin and Hui, not necessarily the best early on. You've got Zeri and Lulu, which do love having other champions in front of them that will give them this time and space to play in those team fights, right? And also for Xiaohu, we have praised him for how good he is. I've been an absolute nuisance to anyone on a side lane. However, here on the Hui, it's very difficult to be the case as Rookie steps forward to not get hit by that ability.
And again, this Corki should be the same style, I believe, in some extents that we're going to get the damage Corki, obviously in mid lane, but Rookie maybe looking to push and move a little bit more so against this Hui, who's already pushing under the turret. The big thing is looking at the jungle. Where are these paths going to lead to?
Oh, they're invading. They've already pinged the bot side jungle of Tarzan. Aki is already heading there. Very, very healthy. Mid. Both Aki and Rookie. You have the pressure through mid. I think he might be waiting for him at the red buff.
Wrap around, potentially good toggles from our observers. Aki. Oh, Tarzan, you're so good. So you wonder in those moments what the thought process is, and Tarzan has a way out easily to the Krugs.
Yeah, and because that didn't work right there, and bot lane's already fighting back and forth, they've lost a chunk of damage. And you've got Rookie who's actually pressuring Xiaohu. You have to default back, falling into your own jungle. And now it's Tarzan's turn because bot lane is pressuring, right? So could potentially move in. However, everything has been warded, so he will get spotted if he does move through the bot side of the map.
Nothing.
We'll spot the Setsuani again. And round 2.
The red buff's going to be started up now, so a trade through. Aki's clear speed working out pretty well for him here on the Sejuani. Get a double trade on bot side. Crisp taking a lot of chunk in health.
Oh, the Q.
Photic right back from it.
Oh, the Q missing right there from Photic. That's a lot of damage you're missing out on. And again, we kept talking about, you know, the Callistus Renatas or the Lucian Namis, very, very potent aggro lanes in the early game. However, Zeri and Lulu can keep up on the trades really, really well due to all of the early damage coming in from Lulu, the shields, the speed ups, the poke that's coming in from the Lulu as well. So far, so good for Light and Craze. They have been holding toe-to-toe with Photic and Zhuo.
Rookie is just not afraid to fight anybody he sees, because why not? Also love to see some of the first strike gold coming up clutch for Photic on bot side. A back will be initiated by Xiaohu. Should have TP to come back here, though. But I don't know. I was going to say they need priority on mid side, because I don't know if you necessarily want to give over double scuttle to an IP right now. But Aki is going to make his first move for it. Should be just left to his own devices, although Rookie gets some decent trade on the back end.
Very clean right there. Double scuttle
my
from
God.
double.
Chris might have overextended there. One more double tap to the back, and I think NIP finally put it together. It's Weibo tap for a reason.
Excellent work in the bot lane for Photic and Zhuo. Making sure you land that bubble right there and crisp. Very, very slow with the reaction. You could have flashed that bubble. Making sure you don't go down. We said that the trade is very, very even between Zeri and Lulu. That's if you don't get succeed in the entire combo from Lucian Nami. That wasn't the case from Crisp, and that is a 1 kill and a BF sword going into lane for Lucian. That is going to hurt a lot, so expect a lot of pressure through the bot side of the map. This is going to be bread and butter for Aki, stacking those Dragons, playing that bot side of the map.
Should get a redeploy down that way. It looks like that will be the case. So some boots completed there early for Aki, get some mobility for himself, but absolutely playing around bot side is NIP's game right now. And those questions still arise for Weibo on how they find entrance into this game. A reset, maybe redeploying to the top side to get these grubbies could be an option.
Yeah, I feel like there's going to have to be a trade right here between the two teams, because I don't think you ever want to be fighting.
Nah, we ain't trade, we fighting.
Yeah, BF sword plus long sword onto this Lucian. Every single Q is going to hurt so much.
It has boots,
oh
you know?
my god. I mean, okay.
What's a sword to a boot?
Right, if you run fast enough, he can never catch you to do damage.
Hey, that's all I'm saying.
There you go. However, talking about running fast enough, Tarzan has run fast enough towards that bottom of the map.
They will know that the dragon is
they
started
forward,
now, so they want to go over here onto the fight instead.
Flash.
They know that Aki will not join, so they're just going to try to collapse on a Photic. It should strike the heart. The bubble hits, but it's not enough to stop the onslaught. As mid lane, another solo bolo for Rookie.
2 kills going down, 1 for Weibo Gaming and 1 for NIP. And again, if we look at that bot lane, once more, Tarzan knew that the aggression is going to keep coming from the side of NIP. Decides to get towards the bottom of the map. No one would expect it, right? They were doing Dragon. You definitely do not want to be contesting towards that Dragon area. So they expected potentially Lee Sin to be towards his top side, where his blue buff had spawned. He had Grump spawning. He had the little Grub spawning as well. So trading objectives would be the natural order of Lee Sin choosing objectives right there, and it wasn't the case. Let's look at this mid lane one more time.
Can we just say that Rookie has had Xiaohu's number all series long? Like, there's been some moments Xiaohu's had some fight backs, but some multiple solo kills going the way of Rookie in the first series.
See, AP Corki doesn't get that kill. AD Corki does, though.
Yeah, it does. And apparently that's what the mainstay is going to be in the meta right now. And we do see some movement there. We see Weibo actually going for those grubs that we talked about earlier. But some highlight on Rookie. Like, you might know this guy. He's a world champion. But the journey since then has been rough. And I think we've seen some high highs for him on top esports, but now on NIP, he's looking to make it happen, as he hasn't been back for the roster since his time on V5. Now, back to it though. Weibo looking proactive themselves here.
They're looking to take control a little bit towards that bot side. This one is coming up for Tarzan as well, so they want to make sure that He's pretty safe playing towards that. But Aki is still sticking around. He's looking for Xiaohu. He does have the ult. There is no flash. On to Hui. So
Fancy some drifting today. He's gonna go for it. Okay, just gonna give the thumbs up there. Like, I thought about it. I had the option. I just decided I didn't want to.
You know what? If anything, I would say he's baiting the flash, but there is no flash on Xiaohu. He was just like, hello, good sir. Goodbye, good sir. I wasn't planning on ulting you. Anyway, I was just baiting. Aki's going to move back into his jungle. Same thing as Tarzan. They're going to keep clearing.
So it is a little bit of that different style build from the Corki this time around than what we saw the lethality style earlier as well. Shanji going to take the heavy trade from the red carpet that went a little bit wide from Breathe. Just looking to get this plate up here on the top side.
Getting a little bit punished. Short range rat. Electric rat, rather.
Is that what you call it? Is that Kennen?
Yeah.
Kennen in a nutshell.
Isn't that what he is?
True.
He's an electric rat, no?
Yes.
Well, he's a hamster, but whatever.
Are all Yordles rats? Is that what we're deciding?
Okay, I think Ziggs is a squirrel.
Okay.
But
There's some
Kennen's a
distinction.
rat,
There's
yeah.
some distinction.
Yeah, for sure.
I can appreciate that at least. I do want to check in some appreciation on these laning phases that we're going to be seeing come to an end sooner rather than later. But it is a pretty hefty lead for Rookie in mid lane over Xiaohu with about a 20 CS differential. Meanwhile, topside Breathe has a little bit of an advantage over Shanji. I think that team fighting aspect of Kennen is definitely going to overtop that though.
Oh, absolutely. I feel like in terms of a front-to-back, NIP having that threat of the Kennen on a flank, but it's not even just the flank aspect that makes Kennen so dangerous. It's the fact that if Weibo commit, if Tarzan goes for a play, Shanji can be the bridge between Weibo and NIP and stop the progress of any other member forward. So not only can he be the flank scarer, but he can also be the person that creates all that space for his team to be able to assassinate whoever dives in the backline, which so far, from the time as I'm seeing, is probably going to be Tarzan trying to get some sort of kick.
Tarzan has a level advantage on Aki. Gonna get some help from Xiaohu from long distance as well. Tarzan wants to continue to fight this out. He has red buff as well. There too, still going, still fighting, and Aki gonna get blasted out by Tarzan. Is he gonna get it? Xiaohu gets the snipe from distance.
I feel like I could feel his heart break, you know? Shanji is going to be under attack right now. He does have the ultimate. He's going to pop the ultimate just to clear the wave, but he's extremely low. Whew. There's a lot of ball coming in from Hui. Rookie's towards the top side of the map as well.
Oh, Xiaohu taking decent amount. Going to send the Spiraling Despair, but the flash comes out from Shanji.
Yeah, on that chase on Aki, I could feel the despair, by the way. It's like, someone help, someone,
it was
anyone, top lane,
for sure.
mid lane, support, someone. I've taken their flashes, I've taken their Qs, they have no kicks, they have no ults, someone, anyone. And he ends up going down. Great stuff right there from Weibo Gaming. They're forcing flashes in the jungle, in the top lane, they're taking the kill onto Tarzan. I love seeing that proactivity coming in because you definitely need to get a little bit ahead onto this list and to pose a threat into the backline.
Some big item thresholds coming up here as well. We have the Collector for Photic, of course. But the Trinity Force for Rookie is there. Tarzan, looking to focus towards bot side though. But the Dragon already started. This would be a second one for NIP. Tarzan made a play like this before. Did give up the Dragon for it this time around. Just fighting for the vision though. The Dragon getting a little bit low, but so is Aki. Luckily Shanji's here to help him. And there's that second objective secure for them.
Yeah, you do have a TP on Xiaohu if you really wanted to fight this, but I feel like at this point, Weibo are just testing the waters. You do have Rocket Belt onto Shanji, there's TP onto the Kennen, you've got Trinity Force onto Corki, Collector, as you mentioned, onto Photic, and everyone else, except for Tarzan, are sitting on Woodyard sales in their inventories, bits and pieces of every item before completion, so you definitely don't want to be taking these unfavorable fights, especially since right now the gold is still dead even. Shanji is fishing for something there.
Breathe gonna start up the grubbies. This would be 6 grubs for Weibo. Shanji looking on Xiaohu. Aki gonna go drifting mid lane, get the flash out of Xiaohu, but they do end up trading the objective for this one. That'll be really big for Weibo and the longevity of things. But I think now when you look at the style of composition that the stability of NIP brings, You think of how they can approach the fights. It's a lot of that team fight potential with the flanks from Shanji, but now we're seeing some of the ways that Weibo can find fights, right? It really is just about finding picks and utilizing that immense amount of damage.
Yeah, I feel like it's about ease of execution when you look at NIP. You're like, yeah, that's easy. You throw in the electric rat, you make a pick with the Sejuani front lines, you go waves coming in from the Nami, so much damage between the Lucian and the Corki. It just visually, it's very easy to visualize how a fight would look if you're NIP. However, for Weibo Gaming, due to the lack of engage, due to the lack of a front line, you know, which Wei really likes, Zeri really likes, somebody buying those 2 time for him to put down all that hurt and damage. Currently for Weibo, sort of, as I said in the beginning, every man for himself, kind of like you get into a fight, you're on your own. You just have to outplay.
It's like a piece of abstract art, just by the Weibo Tap Tap artist, I guess. It's a little bit hard to read, but sometimes maybe it works. As Rift Herald is up and available, NIP flooding around it, but will end up moving out of the pit itself. They have Shanji on that TP. They do have some ward setups. It could be a little bit finicky for them to get in there. Looks like we're just going to get a tussle over this one.
Yeah, they do have a pretty good ward from the set of NIP for Shanji as well, towards that blue buff. That is a very, very good flank TP ward for someone like a Kennen to get into these fights. So unless Weibo Gaming find that ward, and it's not going to be the case. You saw Crisp just backed out. They're going to find it now. However, NIP have placed even more down. And they are worried about the Kennen. They are pinging in.
Yeah, we got ultis available. Just waiting for somebody to pull the trigger here. Rookie being burned alive as he walks out, but Weibo do end up just getting the Rift Herald given over to them by NIP, who have ceded the positioning here. So at least some standing gold going to be available for them if they can get this charge off. As we see Shanji doing his work in an outer in the bot side, will be able to get that one.
Absolutely, getting more gold onto Shanji on the bot side of the map, taking a tower down as well. Rookie should be able to defend that top side as well. So, he does have friends coming over. Zhuo is really, really close, and they're going to pull the TP.
That's the TP from Shanji. He has the slicing maelstrom. Not going to pull it as soon as he enters. Does realize, okay, he can go back in. There's the damage. And that Trinity Force doing some work. Tidal Wave just a little bit late there from Zhuo. But the tempo of that play was so crazy. We'll see if they can actually capitalize on it, but it looks like things will go back to normal.
Your timing about calling this was great as well, because like, he surely is not going to go in. Yeah, okay, he's going in.
That's how it happens. You just look for that one moment, that little slip up, the overextension you can completely capitalize on. I think the most interesting thing now will be on how Vision is played around, because I think Weibo are going to need Vision priority around these objectives if they're going to go try to fight around them. And NIP is in a position like we've seen in this series, they can just keep forcing the fights around the objectives and around the big moments.
If anything, I feel like Weibo Gaming are even more than that gonna need to cover their backs, right? Having those huge flank TP wards for Shanji could be very, very detrimental for how Weibo want to play these fights. You have so many squishy members, no one can tank him. The only one who can throw him out of a fight is going to be Tarzan, but I feel like there's so many tasks placed on Tarzan's back. Finding the angle, maybe finding the target to kick them in, whilst also being able to keep your kick to push Kennen out of a fight, which is going to be so important for the rest of the team to not get bursted down. So I feel like Tarzan will have so many tasks to do in a fight, and they don't have a lot of time to figure these out. Another gold is dead even right now, but NIP have full control in the way they want to approach these fights. They set down their vision, they play their front to backs, they already have 2 dragons down. Once this spells 3 on 4, Weibo Gaming are going to have to figure out a way on how they want to fight around these objectives.
We do end up getting that second item completion for Photic 2, so the rapid fire easing the access of that big poke from Fog of War that we've seen him play through. The vision control going to be cleared out on the bot side. There's some of that poke we were talking about. The Rift Herald was pop mid, but so was the Tidal Wave. They're going to catch Photic. He needs to be really careful. Shanji was about to find a big entrance with the Slicing Maelstrom, but now NIP need to put their focus on delaying this Rift Herald.
They're managing this so far. They're keeping it at arm's length. It's not gonna bop onto the tower, which is huge Or NIP and Weibo are trying to use everything they have, any distraction, even the TP in the middle of everyone.
Oh, the drip from Aki. He tried to predict the extended flash from Xiaohu. Will not find it, though. And we're right back to fisticuffs for a dragon. Tarzan about half health now, though.
That is still a flash.
That's a
committed.
lot of damage.
Aki?
That's a whole screen away, Aki. Better be hoping you can find a way back in, because that's going to be really difficult too. And they might just give this one to give Weibo their first dragon.
There is no very easy front to back for Weibo Gaming. However, there is a ton of damage on every member. He's healed up. They want to go back in. There is no ultimate onto Aki, so no necessarily easy engage for them unless they throw Shanji in with a huge maelstrom. Again, there is no flash onto Xiaohu, so if they manage to catch him, this could be huge for an IP.
Just one little slip up could make the difference. You have Tarzan down here, maybe not spotted out just yet. He is just on the other side of a ward. Aki moving up, but the dragon still the biggest focus right now. Some backs coming out from the side of Weibo. See if they can get back. Okay, Chris just has to walk here. So this is going to be a 4v5 for a little while. Shanji spotted out on a ward there. Dragon already half health. Tarzan, and just realizing a 4v5 is not worth it. You cannot get caught in this moment. You do get that third dragon for an IP. Some damage back. Tarzan finally rejoins the fight over here. But they will have to fight another day. It was.
So Weibo Gaming backed off, but Shanji on a very crucial flank right there. Tarzan knows that he cannot take that 50-50 with Shanji on the side, because the second he dives in, he's actually dead. Very good calling onto Light here to pull into now, and this is what we see a lot from Lucians, right? In the mid game, you go into that mid lane, especially Photic being 1k gold up, having that ignite as well. You are very, very oppressive in the early game. Again, everyone being so low in terms of raw HP bars from the sort of Weibo Gaming, super squishy. Eating an entire calling is going to hurt a lot, and Rookie freezing his way towards the top side of the map, not wanting to give anything away to Weibo.
I love how much value the culling gets in this one, as you were saying, just kind of shredding all the multitude of very squishy members on the side of Weibo, at least. But it does look like we're going to get a little moment of calm here. The thing to think about has been the style that both these two teams have brought to each other. I think Weibo are going to love to have those 6 grubs later on with those quick pushes that their team composition can bring after fights, but they have to win those fights first and foremost.
I was about to say, to get underneath a tower, you must have won something, right? Like a fight, killed a couple of members from NIP. Because mind you, there is a lot of wave clear on the side of NIP as well, so it's extremely difficult to pressure underneath a tower. This is also something that reigns true for Weibo Gaming as well. Having Xiaohu onto that way, Zeri rumble with the equalizer, you can clear waves pretty easy. So for NIP to siege Weibo Gaming, they need these fights. Luckily for them, luckily for NIP, you do have ways that you can pressure Weibo Gaming to try and fight you.
They are finally getting the Nabori Flicker Blade there for Light as well, so can provide a little bit more damage from his profile. Do get that outer tower taken by Rookie, so more standing gold. But Zhuo gets caught by Tarzan. Tarzan gonna take a culling to the face though, and here comes Rookie to back up his team. Ever the guardian of the pride of NIP.
And this is why I'm saying I'm so confused about Weibo Gaming.
Oh my god!
Because Tarzan has to be the one to make the play. He sees Nami, he tries to dive in, it just doesn't work. Shanji has a perfect flank right here.
Weibo, no! Weibo, no! There's a trap there! You just walked right into it! Weibo absolutely trounced. They're going to try to throw some flame back to NIP and force them off of the Baron, but my goodness, what a beautiful catastrophe that NIP have just wrecked on Weibo.
They're not going to get the Baron this time around. However, they do get away with a pretty big fat W in terms of that skirmish. Weibo Gaming is looking at Rookie, but Rookie getting out the entire squad of NIP, resetting equally, and it's getting a little bit weird and difficult to play this game if you're Weibo. Again, Tarzan has been burdened with the impossible right here. He's been burdened with engaging fights, which he tried to do here. Doesn't quite go as planned, cannot assassinate Zhuo. His entire team cannot follow up that deep because they are scared off the cannon flank the second that Shanji goes into Fog of War. And right there, just about evades vision. And by the time they see him, it's already too late.
And he's going AP, by the way, so this ain't none of the tank cannon. He's got Rabbit on second item, by the way. Completely completed, so those team fights are going to be even easier to execute. And the thing is, you got about a minute till a soul for NIP would be a Cloud Soul. Can you imagine that cannon? How fast those lightning legs will run once he pops that ult in if they have that.
And for NIP, they don't necessarily have to contest the next dragon because they know Weibo Gaming are desperate to not give that soul away. They could even turn around and go towards something like a Baron, split them up in half, give the soul away, at least the dragon away, not the soul. And just pressure them up. I feel like Weibo Gaming are, they've got their hands tied and they need a pick right here.
Keep poking back on the light a little bit there, just trying to get this outer tower down before the fight ensues. Dragon in about 20 seconds, moving on out. We do need to kind of get this wave push. I think mid lane priority will be the name of the game for NIP.
Yeah, Tarzan's trying to find his flank position. He's trying to find some Fog of War to hide behind. He knows probably that for them to take this dragon, he's most likely going to have to steal it himself. Wave in the mid lane to try and zone away the rest of Weibo is going to result in a tower for NIP. And NIP is just, they just keep looking, they just keep brute forcing with their HP bars in the jungle.
That's what this composition brings to the table. I mean, especially with the lack of that compositional strength for Weibo. They don't have any way to go head to head. They have to look for those picks here. They have to look for the entrance for Tarzan or get that big red carpet from Breathe. TP coming in. They know this could be a do or die for a lot of the big moments of the rest of this game. If they can deny this, they buy themselves some time. Breathe is on the turret. The dragon out of vision of Weibo. And get moved up a little bit. Breathe will join. He's about half health. Yeah, Shanji going over. Could be looking for the flank. Won't be spotted out. Rookie's going to go mid lane. They want to delay this. They know they have the upper hand, and NIP are just playing it to force Weibo. They might just end up giving this one unless Aki can get in there and steal it. He cannot. Tarzan secures that one and delays NIP's soul.
Tier 2 mid lane already gone. Top lane control already established for NIP. They were pinging Baron for a second right there because they knew that Weibo Gaming where they had to press their B buttons or take the long walk of shame through their bot quadrant of the jungle, which was actually the case. You see now Weibo Gaming are rushing towards that top side, making sure that that Baron is not going down. They have no clue actually right now that NIP is not doing that. They have to literally walk in and check it out themselves, which is going to be the case for Breathe right now onto this Rumble. Cheeky right there also from Zhuo to start the Baron, trying to get some poke onto Weibo Gaming. And again, hands tied for Weibo Gaming. They have to find that one pick before the fight starts.
We have a NIP officially subscribing to the League of IE. As we see the IE completed for Photic, it immediately yields results as he destroys light.
Wait, I blinked. What happened?
There was a flash of light.
I seriously, I'm not even kidding at this moment. I actually blinked and I missed it. 5 versus 4, NIP starting the Baron. If they were strong before, they're much stronger with a person advantage.
All right, Tarzan trying to make good on it. They did end up finding the big pick out last time. Aki gonna throw the ulti, so is the tidal wave though. So that's a lot of tools used by NIP. They're gonna be forced off the Baron as well.
Yeah, a little bit of overzealousy again from NIP. I feel like a lot of the times the team tends to get very trigger happy with their ultimate, the way they were trying to finish game 1, but not necessarily focus in the Nexus. So I feel like NIP need to regroup right now because they're clearly stronger on the map. They have the stronger champions, they have the easier to execute composition. All they have to do is calm down. And I'm glad I get to see this again because I legitimately blinked and I missed it.
God,
I think I was looking towards the Baron and I missed it.
Yeah, that's what this
cool.
IE will do with the Collector. I mean, you hit one crit and health bars just all of a sudden dissipate. As third item still waiting on the wings for light. Will not have that one just yet. Luckily, there's no fights coming up in the meantime, but I do want to pick apart this Weibo composition at all. I still believe that they need to be looking for these kind of picks in the moments, but it's hard when NIP don't want to leave each other's side. They're just all holding hands.
Yeah, and actually they have such good vision control inside their jungle behind enemy lines for NIP. We've been commending them a lot on the way they choose to take fights as a group, so you'll see that NIP are never really left alone. They never really have like isolated members anywhere. They're not giving the opportunity to Weibo to pick them apart. And right here, they've got a pretty huge opportunity to force Weibo to fight them for this Baron. Oh.
Go over the wall there. Does end up getting the flash out of Breathe.
Where have I seen this before?
I literally just had deja vu. Yeah, literally had deja vu. As now they will just push in, steal as much of the jungle as they can, and end up getting away with that one. They could just force onto this Baron yet again. It looks like that's the play.
Okay, this is actually really scary because Weibo Gaming are aware that 2 of their huge cooldowns are down for NIP. However, the gatekeeper Photic is holding very strong. Games. Yeah, he's holding very strong on the mid lane. Surely we're not doing Baron without already carry, right?
Tarzan knows. Tarzan knows. He knows. They're going to get the flash out of Photic. There's the red carpet. Tarzan can't get the pit. He's in. Can he get it? They take him out before he even gets the chance. NIP! Rookie gets the Baron, but they lose everybody for it. Rookie and Zhuo, the only standing members, and Weibo have clapped back.
Wow, both of the junglers end up going down, and Baron remained, I think, what, 1,000 HP? It was for the longest time possible. Weibo Gaming, that is a huge W for them, because even though the Baron buff goes over to NIP, you can see the power of their team fighting.
We're going to take a look back at the replay here and take exactly how this happened. Photic early burning his flash, but here the trade for the junglers.
Oh, he got burned out. Oh, he moves back into the equalizer. Oh, and he flashes onto the equalizer again.
They both didn't want to smite it because it was like right in there. So they're both like, somebody else hit this so that it goes under. And then Rookie just takes it in the end.
Oh, God. Aki, what a sad domino of effects right there. Weibo Gaming got their first hand in the river, however. Now this time around, they do have ultimates from the side of NIP.
Breathes caught in transition. Shanji, look at the flank that can set up. He doesn't have flash, though. He has no way in. Photic going down to the side. Light guns him down in the middle of it. The lightning crash happens, and all of a sudden, Light is gone. Dragon secured for NIP, and that's Soul.
That's 2 members down from Weibo Gaming. Shanji didn't even have to press R in this particular fight. Again, I feel like Tarzan has been burdened with a little bit too much in this particular game onto the listen, and it's just not very realistic for this champion to do everything, to engage, disengage, find a pick, find a flank, steal the dragon, smite everything. Now NIP.
They are forcing under the turret here. Rookie just wanted to try to snipe Xiaohu. But really, it's just great drafting from NIP in a fearless system that does put constraints on that. And here we're seeing that drafting come alive as he goes for it. He's polymorphed. Oh my goodness, he almost bites the dust there. Does end up making it out alive though, and they take the turret for it. There's a TP play. There's a TP play. They have the Xiaohu deep flank, but they're walking away from him. Can he have the speed to get there? Looks like it's not going to be enough.
Oh, it was on the wrong side of the map. They had so many wards towards the bot side of the map, but they knew that Shanji was around. He cannot be TP'ing into the cannon. Tarzan still looking. He knows that the HP bars were not the healthiest last time he saw them. Oh, Light.
Uh-oh. Oh no.
Oh, Light.
Oh no. He's all AP. He's all AP. He got Void Staff too. Okay, he's not gonna find him. Oh no, but the rest of his team, he finds him anyways. Shanji with the solo bolo and give him another one as they will end up getting a kill back for Breed. The kickback from Tarzan saves the rest of Weibo's life, but they already lost 3 of their members here, and NIP are shoving it up the gut and going for the win.
4 members up alive and available for NIP. They're going to take that middle inhibitor tower. They do not have the healthiest of waves, however. They've got very, very healthy HP bars.
Rookie 4-0-2 on this Corki. He's had Xiaohu's number all series long, multiple solo bolos across the games. They brought us all the way to 3, but they're trying to force the end right now. Where have we seen this before, Trouble? As there is no defense left for Weibo unless Crisp and Tarzan can make it happen. He does get the kick there potentially on the other side of it, but he's going to just be bursted down. This time, they know to attack the Nexus, and they're going to finish the game. They will not fall the same way they fell before. And that will be a first series win of summer for NIP.
Incredible play. There were a lot of questions about the teams when it comes to fearless draft, when it comes to game 3. What have you got left in the tank? What do your players want to play? And you mentioned a lot of the comfort, and I saw the comfort on the side of Weibo Gaming, but it made no sense. It made no cohesion when it comes to them playing as 5. However, NIP, I have to commend them on the draft on that game number 3. It made it so much easier to execute, and it just showed.
Yeah, it definitely did. That man on your screen right there having a Wonder Star performance though for his first games on the Rift of Summer. I think this NIP showed some seriously high highs in spring, and they're running it back for another split, as we'll see if they can make the big run. But man, this Group D has been fun to watch. We had